YouTube, in case it hasn't already become plainly obvious by my being an archaeology student, having an archaeology blog, and even doing some past videos on archaeology, I love archaeology. I love how you can actually tell a lot about a person based off of what they leave behind or what their possessions were. That sounded a lot creepier than I actually meant it to, but you know what I mean. To me, the most fascinating part about archaeology is that you can actually learn a lot about people's lives and who they were based off of the things that they left behind. But at the same time, it also leads to the most terrifying part of archaeology. The existential crisis that you go through when you realize that everything you've ever done in your life ever will only boil down to a handful of objects found in the distant future. After working on a dig site last summer, I realized that out of all of the things that we would find, very little of it would be actual finds. Most of it was rocks and soil. Side note, never call soil dirt to an archaeologist. You will get your head torn off. I learned that the hard way on day one. And you know, it was still super exciting because whenever anything that was potentially a find was found, we all would get super excited. I mean, you should have seen everybody when some stained glass was found. Oh my god, you would have thought we found the Holy Grail. But think about it. We only found a handful of objects, but think about how many physical things you use on a daily basis. It turns out to be a little bit depressing when you realize just how little of the objects that we use every day actually manage to survive to be found later. It kind of makes it so you can't help but think about how fleeting our lives really are and how little our lives actually matter to the human race as a whole. But on the flip side, if you're willing to dig a little bit deeper, you can actually see how much each individual person's life matters because it's a part of a whole system, and that system is what matters to the human race as a whole. It's kind of a nice silver lining to think about whenever I start spiraling into a little bit of an existential crisis, because at the very least, even if my life only ever amounts to a few collection of random possessions that end up being ascribed to some unknown person, at least my life choices will end up affecting the people around me, and maybe even someday they'll actually affect someone who ends up being of historical importance. Who knows? So yeah, that's what goes on inside my head when I have way too much time to sit to myself and think. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe if you'd like to see any more of my videos of my random musings. All for now, guys. Bye!